Okay, so I just got in the mail the Prothane bushings for the motor. I did have some energy bushings, but I ended up actually returning them. The reason why I returned them is because I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but I was hoping to get some red mounts, and instead I got the black ones. I mean, energy bushings are actually great. I've had them in other cars for the suspension, but I haven't had the engine block bushings. So these are, and I was reading some reviews about the Prothane, and they seem like they're like the same quality. So I wanted to take a look at them and see if and use them. And the price difference, actually, there is a price difference. These Prothanes are actually a little bit cheaper. But one thing I learned about about bushings and fittings like that is that the price doesn't really justify the part a lot. So you can actually get some pretty good parts for cheap. So let's take a look and see what we got. Okay, so I ended up paying $88.90 total with shipping. Let's see what we got here. You know, and they look good. So there you go. You got two motor mounts, and this should be the transmission mount. Let's take a look at it. And this is a transmission mount. So it actually looks exactly the same as the energy ones. The only difference is the color, and honestly, just by feeling them, I can tell you right now that they do feel a lot more sturdier than the energy ones. And so this is how they look. Now I'm going to go ahead and mount them onto my adapter plates in the engine block, and I'm going to see if check to make sure they actually fit exactly the same. I have a feeling they're going to be the same. So the rubber is a little bit stiffer, and I've heard that in other reviews. It's marked Prothane. The energy ones are they weren't even marked, so you couldn't even tell who they came from. You could have easily thrown some China or Chinese-made blocks in there, or regardless, they probably were made in China, like almost everything is nowadays. But this rubber is a lot stiffer for sure, and it looks sharp. We are gonna see if this. We're gonna take a look and see how they look in the motor. All right, and this is the. Looks like this is the hardware for the mount that goes onto the transmission. All right. Here we go. So this is the 5.3 I'm working on, and I'm going to go ahead and throw those new motor mounts onto the block and see how they fit. So like I mentioned, one of the things I've noticed about the Prothane brand is that they feel a little bit sturdier, a little bit thicker than the energy ones. I kind of like them. I think it's going to be completely fine. But let's see how they slide in. So I did notice that energy comes with brand new bolts, and the Prothanes don't. So that is something different. But I do have bolts. I mean, I do have bolts, and most people are going to have bolts already. So I don't think that's too much of a big deal. Okay, so this is one mount going in. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the one on the other side. So the second mount's installed, and that was pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to put the motor back in the car.